This is called meditation on the trail to Heather Lake. And I should pre-discuss this a little bit. The phenomenons I'm talking on here are real. The people who don't know the word blue apparently cannot see the color blue. You have to have the vocabulary in order to see it. And there are whole groups of people who their languages don't have this. And so when they're asked what color the sky is, they say it's white. And when asked what color the ocean is, they'll find some other way of describing it than blue. And one of these people was Homer, who described the ocean as wine dark and occasionally green, but he never identified that color blue. Apparently couldn't see it. You need the word in order to see the thing, which is extraordinary, right? This is called Meditation on the Trail to Heather Lake. 1, I realized when I left in the pre-dawn, I waved to my wife, and she smiled at me. But since she stood in the light on the porch, and I sat in the dark of the car, she doesn't know I waved. I realized that although I've lived with her for 20 years, there's much of Anne I don't know. I realized that I have total faith in gravity, but I have no idea how it works, and no one else does either. I wish I knew, because it would be a relief to have a break from it now and then. I tried to pretend to Anne one time that I knew what gravity was, gave a long technical explanation that made her laugh, because she was so surprised by me. Had no idea what I was going to say, because there's so much of me that she doesn't know, an interior galaxy I keep in my secret Freudian space. 2, when I tell Anne my ideas, she says I'm 1 in a million. But in a world of 7 billion, that means there are 7,000 just like me. And I've never met anyone just like me. There's a great big group of people out there, my tribe, and I will never know them, never meet them. They live in places I will never imagine. They will be as mysterious to me, more so even than Anne. They know things I will never hear of, see things I will never think of. I will be like those people who can't see blue because their language has no word for it. When they're shown color charts, they can't distinguish it simply because their parents never educated them. To them, the sea is green and the sky is white. Those 7,000 people out there who are just like me can probably see a color I can't. And they could teach me the word for that shade halfway between purple and mud that I see as brown, and I could teach them blue. But now that will never happen because I'll never meet them. And anyway, their language is about to go extinct. So no one will know the color halfway between purple and mud. And in fact, that's the color of my eyes. That is, I decide, the nature of everything. 3, everything is mysterious to me and everyone else in the world, even this woman I love. Who knows, maybe there's even a word for a hiatus from gravity. And if we knew it, we could turn somersaults in the blue sky. Maybe she doesn't even know the color of my eyes. And if she doesn't, I don't know how to explain it to her. When I get back this afternoon, maybe I'll ask her, and she'll smile and nod, hiding the fact that I'm mysterious to her too. And that's the fun of it. Maybe. Okay. I feel like I should do more poems about Anne because she's really cool. Okay. This one's called That's You Cooling Your Feet in Heather Lake. No background is required here, I think, except for one thing we forget about Fremont. Oh, no, I was confusing the poems. No background's needed here. That's you cooling your feet in Heather Lake after the long trudge up the mountain, and I'm over in the shade thinking about the movies of my Sunday afternoon childhood on the Family Film Festival. A cowboy up here in the High Sierra, Randolph Scott or Clint Eastwood, some old cowboy you're supposed to love, but I never did. I got into this long, stupid argument with my buddy about John Wayne, who he thought was brave, and my point was that he went into every fight knowing that he was going to win. But his sidekick always went forward knowing that they were going to die, and slowly, and painfully, which is why they always had the sense to have a dying speech laid out. Not only were they going to sacrifice themselves, but they were going to leave these last words by God for the good of humanity. My point was that my friend worshiped the wrong gods. My point was that if you wanted to see Christ in High Sierra cinema, you had to look for the poor slob with a drinking problem and a month-old potato for a nose. The local widow woman won't love him, but that's all right because the love that fills him for everyone is enough for this lifetime and the next. Looking at you down there with your feet in the water, I wonder if I've been a good sidekick for you. I wonder what my last words will be after I jump in front of Jack Palance's bullet. I wonder if they will fill you with the joy that blows like a high Sierra breeze. I'm looking now for another Anne poem. Here's one. This is On the Banks of the Kaweah River. Kaweah River is one of the great rivers that comes out of Sequoia, and I absolutely adore that river. On the banks of the Kaweah River. She plucks the stone from the shallows on a whim, almost forgets it as she chats, and her fingers play with it absently. It fits her hand as naturally as an infant's head, both of which have been formed by moving water, as has her palm, which will cradle both.